By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jarrod.
And I'm Edwina.
And we're doing a Once More with Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today we're doing a double episode, Season 4, Episode 20, The Yoko Factor, and Episode 21, Primeval. This episode, the first episode originally aired May 16th, 2000, followed by the next one on the same night, Eddie. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. The first one was written by David Fury, directed by David Grossman. The second one also written by David Fury, but directed by James A. Contenar. Over to you, Eddie.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan, but Jarrod has never watched the series all the way through, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
Double episode. I think this is pretty good for a season finale, I reckon. It was pretty spectacular.
We've actually still got one more.
And I couldn't help but notice that this wasn't the last episode of the season, which I think is pretty odd, considering how climactic the ending was on this episode.
It definitely has it's definitely the overarching season final, but not the actual season final.
It's like a secret song on a CD or something, isn't it? You know,
that's a good way of describing it.
So you have to wait like 18 minutes after the last track.
So it is the final battle, and it does tie up all the loose ends of the series, so to speak. Like brings all the themes full circle.
Yep.
But it does have. There is another episode to go for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of my favourite episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I think the next episode, the reason why they have the next episode is because of the spell that they use. And because it is such a powerful spell, they can keep coming back and using that spell every single time a big bad seems unstoppable.
Well, yeah, why don't they?
Well, you'll find out in the next episode.
Oh, stay tuned next week. You'll find out.
That, yes, you can't always... Yeah, because I know you hate when that happens in other TV series and shows.
It just seems a little lazy sometimes. And then when there's like, even like in the Endgame movie, you have a powerful character that you have to write out. Or even sometimes superhero movies, a really powerful character you just got to write out because otherwise they could fix all their problems quite quickly. Like Quicksilver is sort of one of those characters in that Dark Phoenix film, and even Captain Marvel, I guess, is kind of one of those characters that have to sort of write out at the start. Otherwise, she can just do everything.
Yeah.
That's my pet peeve, but anyway.
Yeah. So I knew that you'd be like, oh, great, so now they're just going to keep using that spell all the
I actually
time.
didn't think of that, to be honest. So
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, when I saw the spell, like this, it was one of those things watching it. Yeah, this is one of those spells. Jarrod would be like, well, can't they just use that spell all the time?
It is a little lazy, but anyway. I suspension of disbelief. I didn't think of that until you mentioned it. And you make a good point. Yeah, why don't they just use it all the time? Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah. Do you want to do the
all right, do the summary and let's get back to it. Long summary. Colonel McNamara discusses with a superior how to get Riley back into the initiative under his command and how to deal with Buffy. Spike tells Adam that Buffy is going to be difficult to defeat and he should not underestimate her.
And then he proceeds to underestimate her.
Yeah. Spike talks about having already killed 2 Slayers, yet having been unable to kill Buffy, especially because of the initiative chip now in his head. The two plan to separate Buffy from her Slayerette friends. Still upset about what happened between her and Angel during her visit to Los Angeles, Buffy returns from LA to her empty dorm room. Xana brings Riley some clothes and they talk about their mutual distaste for Angel, Riley having been told by Buffy about her previous relationship with him. However, it emerges that she did not tell him the whole truth. While Riley was unaware that Angel lost his soul and became Angelus, Xander tells Riley that after having sex with Buffy was the trigger that set Angelus free. Spike visits Giles at home and offers him files inside the initiative. Spike tells Giles that Buffy does not respect the former Watcher anymore, which upsets Giles and causes him to drink. Riley visits Buffy. Using a radio, he has tapped into the initiative and is aware of their actions. She mentions that Angel upset her, but she is focusing on seeking Adam and Riley leaves. Xander and Anya bring Spike fatigues to wear and a gun. Spike makes Xander feel unwanted by convincing him that the rest of the gang does not feel he is useful. Buffy goes patrolling and runs into Forrest, who is also looking for Adam. They argue as they get into the cave and find Adam, who launches a surprise attack. Buffy and Adam exchange a few punches and kicks. Forrest tries to step in and help, but he is pushed away by Buffy. Adam hurls a Slayer against the cave wall, and Forrest uses the opening to shoot Adam with his stun rifle. Instead of harming him, however, the voltage merely seems to refresh Adam, who then disarms and fatally stabs Forrest with his bone skewer. Her will to fight gone, Buffy flees from the cave. Meanwhile, having supposedly sneaked into the initiative to retrieve some information, Spike charges into Giles' place with the discs. However, Giles is too drunk, so Willow tries to decrypt the disc. Spike talks to Willow and Tara about their Wicca interests and how their friends do not seem to support it. Willow thinks he means that their friends are not accepting the romantic relationship. Riley hears of trouble on the streets through his radio. He finds Angel fighting the commandos, and Riley refuses to let Angel go see Buffy. The two have a brutal fight, of which Angel is the clear victor. Buffy returns to her dorm room and Angel shows up. As Angel speaks with Buffy, Riley barges in and raises a gun to Angel. Angel taunts Riley and the two come to blows again. Buffy separates them and wants to talk to Angel alone. Buffy scolds Angel, yet they laugh when Angel confesses he came to make up. The two part ways on friendly terms, although Angel tells her that he does not like Riley. Spike reports back to Adam, happy to have split up the Scooby Gang, and the damage becomes clear when their meeting at Giles' home turns into a fight. Buffy scolds Xander for telling Riley details about her and Angel's relationship and argues that she is going to take on Adam alone. Xander complains that his friends do not need him, and Willow complains that Buffy does not accept Tara, revealing their relationship, for the first time, to Xander and Giles. While Giles goes to sleep the alcohol off, Buffy leaves, telling her friend she does not need him as she has become someone else she can depend on, not realizing that Riley has gone to Adam's lair. The end of that episode. Same night, not next. I was going to say next week. No, it wasn't next week. It's the same night. Yeah. Following Spike's interference, Buffy and the Scoobies are not talking to each other. However, since he wants Buffy in the initiative, Adam is displeased to discover that Willow still has possession of the encrypted disc Spike gave her, which would have led her back. He refuses to remove Spike's behavior modification chip unless he rectifies the situation. Meanwhile, Riley is unaware that he is in Adam's lair, and Adam reveals that the government implanted a chip near Riley's heart, giving him complete control over Riley's motor functions. Tara and Willow work on decrypting the information discs, only to find that they suddenly decrypt themselves. Buffy returns to Adam's cave seeking more information, annoyed when she finds Spike there, and suspicious when he lets slip that he is aware of the Scoobies falling out. Buffy realizes that Spike has deceived them and reunites with the original gang. Willow reveals the information on the discs, that Adam is hiding in one of the Initiative's secret labs and plans to build more cyborg demonoids like himself. Buffy realizes that the overcrowding holding cells at the Initiative are a form of Trojan horse warfare. Adam will release the demons, and the resulting battle will leave many demon and human body parts. The gang brainstorm how to kill Adam and find a difficult spell performed together. Buffy, Xander, Giles and Willow break into the Initiative through the elevator shaft but are captured by the Colonel. Adam is watching this on surveillance, sees that Spike has succeeded in getting Buffy to Initiative but failed to keep the gang apart. He orders Spike to be killed, but Spike escapes into the Initiative. Buffy finds Riley sitting unbound in a chair, unable to speak, still under Adam's control. Adam enters, and upon discovering that Buffy will not be balancing the demon-human kill ratio as he envisioned, orders Forrest, now turned into a killer cyborg demon, orders Forrest to kill her. As they battle, Riley uses a shard of glass to take out the chip embedded in his chest, freeing himself to attack his former best friend. Buffy escapes to take on Adam, and Riley uses a bottle of flaming gas to blow Forrest to pieces. Buffy then engages with Adam. She rushes clumsily at him, but is knocked away with a punch to the gut. Rebounding quickly, Buffy and Adam exchange a high volume of blows. Buffy breaks the Palgora demon Spike on Adam's left arm, but he reveals his right arm has been upgraded to a giant machine gun. Bombarded with gunfire, the Slayer runs behind a computer console for cover. Much like their previous encounters, Adam is clearly the superior until the adjoining spell kicks in. This competent being rises from the ashes, repelling Adam's missile with a shield and shutting his weapon's arm down with a wave of the hand. Closing in easily, she evades every punch thrown by Adam before countering with a devastating chain of strikes herself and ripping out his uranium-powered heart. Riley arrives in time to catch Buffy as she collapses. Giving all their strength and power to Buffy leaves the rest of the gang totally exhausted and vulnerable as demons break into their room, but Spike kills it. In a largely unseen battle, Buffy, Riley, Xander, Giles, Willow and Spike then join with the initiative soldiers to stop the demon attacks, saving 60% of the soldiers, including Graham, while the others, including the Colonel, are killed. In an internal debriefing, the government decides to shut down the initiative for good and remove any paper trail of its existence. They praise Professor Walsh's vision of harnessing demons as powerful as military weapon, but conclude that demonkind cannot be controlled. The end. I have to chip that down a lot more. All right, so what do we got, Eddie? Where do we start with these two episodes?
So I don't even know where to start. Yeah, there's a lot to
There's
talk
a lot
about.
to take in, yeah.
All right, probably. Do we talk? You know what? Let's talk about Riley.
Okay.
Talk about Riley.
You want to talk about Riley?
Not
How much?
Not really.
How much you like Riley?
Well, so in the first episode,
Mm-hmm.
in the Yoko Factor, he acts like an absolute tool the entire time. So you know, we have Buffy returning from Angel,
Yes.
the series Angel, after what had happened in Sanctuary. I think you're a bit confused by that.
Yeah, I was, yeah. Because we watched that earlier and I thought that happened then.
Yeah, no. So that 2-part Angel episode only just happened, and this is when Buffy gets back from LA. Like you don't see her leaving. You know, there's no mention of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She just is back, and she's quite upset by what had happened in LA, the way Angel had spoken to her. And he just barges in, like Riley just barges in, accuses her of cheating on her, you know, not realizing Xander had also let slip about what the cause of of Angel losing his soul was. And then he starts fighting Angel. And again, like they've got this super hyper masculine fight scene together.
Yeah. We point a gun at him too.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of hilarious.
And then they both kind of barge into her dorm room. Yeah.
They both do it too, don't they?
Yes.
Just barge in.
Yeah.
No knocking.
Oh, Angel at least knocks. Angel at least asks about...
Oh, he had to knock, didn't he? Because he couldn't go in. Yeah.
But at least Angel asks about the massive wound on her head.
Yeah.
Riley doesn't even ask about that. He's just so blinded by the stuff with Angel and acting like a complete insane person. That he doesn't ask about the wound on her head at all. Like, but Angel does.
Yeah.
So Buffy calls him out on the fact that she's like, where's this all coming from? And he says something along the lines of, instead of being like, you know what, you're right, I am being a bit crazy. Like she's like said to him, have I given you a reason to not trust me?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, you know, blah, you know, whatever. And then he kind of says the line, you know, but like about like his whole excuse for acting that way is because he's so in love with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he kind of shifts the blame.
Because I'm so in love with you that I'm...
No, it's because I'm so in love
Yeah,
with
you do this to me.
Yeah, I feel like, and they play it up as this super romantic moment, but it's kind of up there with the look what you made me do. Like kind of line. Yeah, I don't like it.
No?
And then I was trying to work out why Riley is one of the most disliked characters
Is he?
in the Buffyverse. He is.
Okay, all right. It's news to me. Okay.
Yes.
Why is he disliked so much?
Well, that's what I was trying to work out.
Well, you don't like him.
Well, no, I don't like him, but I've also seen the entire series, and it doesn't get any better from here.
Yeah.
And he is sort of meant to be, your Clark Kent, as you brought up. He's sort of meant to be a cross between Captain America and Superman. But everyone loves Captain America and Superman. Like, why don't we like Riley? And I started thinking about this after watching Stranger Things, and the new addition of the character Eddie Munson, who people are just going absolutely crazy about. Like, they just absolutely love and adore this new character.
I'll be in that boat too. I did like that character. Yeah. And I don't know why.
No. and I'm in, like, I get it. Like, I think he's an amazing character. And then I was trying to work out why. Why is he such an amazing character? I think it's Joseph Quinn's portrayal. Like, what is it? So even though Riley, like the actor, he's a really technically good-looking guy.
Yeah, technically.
He's technically a really good, he's a good-looking hunky guy.
Yeah.
Joseph Quinn is the most average-looking guy. Like, he's not ugly. He's not what you'd call technically, by society's standards.
Yes, yeah.
Hot. But people are going freaking crazy about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think it comes down to relatability.
Well, I think I said to you, with going back to the Stranger Things character, as I said, I knew that guy in school.
Yeah.
I knew Eddie in school.
So did I.
I knew a guy like that, and he was a really nice guy.
But did you know a guy like Riley?
Yeah, he was a dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
just answered my
question. Did I answer the
question
question then? Yeah.
The guys that looked like Riley and acted like Riley, who had that very black and white idolations.
It was kind of patronising their genuineness sometimes, how they're kind of nice to you.
Yeah.
But they're not nice to you because they're nice to you. They're I don't know, disingenuous maybe, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas you knew that Eddie, like, they were a nice person, but they could also be, they were real shitheads. Because, sorry, I knew a few of those Eddie Munson guys. They were real shitheads, but they were also the nicest people you ever knew.
Yeah.
But also, they were kind of a lot of fun to hang out with, to be around. Like, Eddie Munson is a character that I want to go have a beer with him.
Play some D&D.
D&D. I want to sit there, have a beer, talk music, geek out on shit. Like, he's my type of person. And because he, in the show, he's quite charismatic and over the top.
Yes.
Like, he looks like he'd be a lot of fun.
Well, I suppose...
Do you know what Riley looks like? He looks like someone that I would struggle to make small talk with about the weather.
Yeah. And actually, he probably looks like the character was trying to kill Eddie Munson as well.
Jason.
Jason, the basketball coach, basketball captain. Yeah.
Fuck Jason.
Yeah, I guess it's just that relatability. Like, I don't know. And maybe sometimes you have those situations where someone's like really, really attractive, but it's you find them unapproachable in some ways. You find it intimidating a little bit. Like a really, really hot girl, and you wouldn't want to talk to her because you'd be like, oh, I don't know if I should say anything, But you feel more comfortable with a girl who isn't as hot or something like that. If you could, it's a little less intimidating sometimes, I think. In that
maybe
aspect.
You can feel like you can be more yourself.
Exactly. Like, they're not going to like you. You have to be someone else, which is kind of what was happening to the other character in Stranger Things. The guy who was playing, what was his name?
Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. Yeah.
Yeah. Lucas was trying to be
someone else. Yeah. Yes.
He was trying to be one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
But in Stranger Things, if you notice, like, his group of, like, Jason's group of friends was pretty much identical to his group of friends.
In what way?
had the same dynamic?
I didn't notice that.
Oh, okay. Like
No.
you didn't even notice the guy that was wearing the exact same hat that
Dustin.
Dustin, yes.
Dustin,
Dustin.
yes.
Yeah.
I can sort of picture, I think that
And then he also has, and then he has kind of the black friend, and yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe. But this is a Buffy podcast, not the Stranger Things podcast, which someone mentioned maybe we should do a Stranger Things podcast.
No, that was our 10-year-old son said maybe you should do Stranger Things.
I think I might agree with that.
I've got a lot to talk about Stranger Things.
Yeah, Cass, yes.
But my main thing is like this. I have never seen so much love towards a new character.
Yeah.
On a show.
I haven't seen the show been this popular as well. Like this previous season was really good. Anyway, we keep getting sidetracked here. Ed, let's get back to Buffy. So what else have you got for us, Eddie?
A lot to do with the major themes of this season is individual identity versus institutional identity. You're rolling your eyes.
Yes, please go on.
But Riley is definitely, in the institutionalized identity. Like he's, it's about conforming to the ideals of that institution.
Yeah.
And I realised that Riley doesn't have much personality because all he has is institutionalized identity.
Yeah, he's fucking white bread. We know.
He's fucking white bread.
It's fucking white bread. You're boring. Look at you in your stupid outfit.
And all the Scoobies at the start of this season have some semblance of individual identity and have what could be considered institutionalized identity as being members of the Scoobies. And they spend much of the season trying to figure out how to balance and develop both identities. And when it comes to Riley, I feel like Buffy, Riley's almost part of her mission this season is taking him from being in this institutionalized identity to finding his own identity.
So you're saying what she's trying to do is to fix her man. He's a bit of a fixer-upper, is he?
Trying to show her that there is another way of thinking, that there are other forms of family, so to speak. Like you have Forrest coming in going, oh, you broke up the family to Buffy. And Buffy trying to show Riley that you don't have to do everything that they tell you to do.
Well, he kind of does. He works for him.
Yeah, but you can say no, but...
Not really in the military. Saying no means, you're out.
Or you could ask some questions.
Asking questions also gets you thrown out of the army, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But
does the initiative even feel like the army, really?
Well, it's a part of the government branch, so...
Well, I suppose, but it doesn't really feel like...
They're wearing camo pants. They've got to be military people.
Yeah, they don't really feel like army, though.
Special ops... Oh, well, yeah, they do. The guy's a colonel. Like, they're using all military terms. I don't ask what it could be other than military.
But anyway, like, Buffy has spent the past 3 seasons trying to get out of being under the control of the council. And
she never was under their control, though. That was that was
partial control of the council.
That was a misguided part, as they actually thought they had control over her. They never had control over her. She did whatever the fuck she wanted.
Within reason.
Yeah, I mean, they're the other side of the planet. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Send a nasty fax?
Yes. But yeah, she's been trying to teach Riley to think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not as black and white as he first thought. Demons bad, people good.
Yeah.
And I didn't say that she succeeds, because she definitely doesn't.
No.
And again, maybe he also fell into the boyfriend trap. The love interest trap, I should say.
What's that?
Just where when you introduce a character solely to be the romantic interest of a main character.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of true. That's why he's so bland as well.
Yeah, they don't have their own identity.
Yeah, exactly right. I've seen so many boys come and go Was that first guy you had? The guy was like 30 years old at high school.
Owen.
Owen, yeah. The first boyfriend she had?
Yeah.
Yeah. That probably explains why they're all such sticks in the mud. They've got no personality.
Yeah. All right. I'll move on. I will talk about Spike in this episode.
Giles,
Is
make us
so
stop.
fantastic. I really enjoy this two-parter.
Yeah.
Out of many of the final battles, this is probably one of my favorites.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, most of the time, the final battles are always really good.
Yeah, they have been so far.
Yeah, they're always really good. They always come to a really good conclusion. They're always really climactic. It always feels like they do it as it could almost, nearly all of them feel like they could be a final episode of the series.
Forever, yeah.
That's pretty much the way that they start doing all of these, because Buffy was always about to be cancelled.
Yeah.
So they always wrote them as almost series final finals.
Yeah.
So
It's probably not a bad idea. You never know what happens in the off season, do you?
yeah. And in this, Spike is so good. I think he is what makes these episodes
A lot of
so
screen
good.
time he got too, didn't he?
Yeah, because he's playing the double agent like he did in season 2. Like
Yeah.
he's playing both sides, doing what he does best, which is everyone thinks he's completely harmless, not realizing he can manipulate you with his words. And so that's what he does. He causes havoc, just being a worm tongue pretty much.
And just listening, like he noticed a cue he got from watching Willow
Yeah.
and the way they were interacting, and knew that was something that he could probably manipulate into his advantage. Like as soon as he saw that,
Yeah.
he let slip, how Buffy doesn't accept, what you two do,
Oh no, he starts going that you're just being trendy. Being
Yeah.
into the that you're not that good on the you're more into the new thing, being a witch. And she's
Yeah.
like, what new thing? Being a witch. Oh no, your friends were joking, saying you're just being trendy.
Yeah.
It's just a phase.
That was very, very cleverly done, I have to admit. Yeah.
Again, he's in his element in these episodes because he is so good. That intuitive, he can perceive what other people don't see.
Mm-hmm.
And he picks up on all these little cues that other people just are oblivious to.
Yeah.
And he honed in on.
Yeah, I definitely noticed the Willow one. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
he
soon as
honed
saw
in on
that, it's
Willow's
like,
one.
Oh, here we go.
All the other ones were probably really easy for him to do because he'd been living with them.
Yeah.
You have to remember,
They were easy buttons to push for him. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was easy for him to manipulate Giles because he was living at Giles's house. He could see that Giles was lost,
Yeah.
after the events of A New Man. Like he knew something. What's up? That he's feeling that Giles is feeling insecure about not having a job. Xander's insecure because he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. Willow's insecure about her new relationship. And as I said, he just targets these insecurities. And sometimes if it's something, it's the insecurities you already believe about yourself that can make it so much more damaging when other people bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely knows how to push those buttons and manipulate people. He's very good at it.
And he pretty much turns into that girl who gossips to stir up trouble. And it is fairly harmful and destructive. All gossip is, really, I guess.
Yeah, guess so. Well, only if you find out about it.
Yeah.
Don't know why you would tell someone that someone was saying something about you. I mean, that's gossiping. Other people's fine, but why people would tell other
I
people?
don't know.
that
I've had
is weird.
people. It's also context. Like you can twist and manipulate the context of gossip. Because I once had a girl. I think all I'd said was something about a girl had coloured her hair and it was the same colour as mine. And I'd said something along the lines of, such and rather has coloured their hair. Oh, just like me. And so she went up to that girl and told her that I had said that she had copied me.
See, it's a thing of like talking behind someone's back, but no one would know that unless someone else tells them. So you've really got to question the person who goes up and tells someone else that, or what their motives are.
Exactly.
Why would you need to go up and say that?
The girl that she went up and told her was a complete psycho, and then she came up and threatened to kill me.
Yeah, so just creating drama and watching the ensuing disaster that you've created, and to sit there with some popcorn and say, hey, look, watch this, and people get off on that.
Yeah.
That's what people really get off on.
Yeah, exactly.
And Spike was loving it.
Yes.
Loving it.
Being a truly masterful manipulator. But the plan that they had wasn't really a good plan.
So, what, Adam's plan?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand why
because the whole
he
thing was...
backtracked on it. Like, no, the original plan I got was that he needed Buffy separated from her friends, but needed her to go to the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So he got that part right, and then Buffy was going to go to the initiative, but then Adam said, oh, no, but you fucked it up. Go fix it.
No, so what happened was that Spike, like they were relying on these discs, which I think they didn't really need those discs and whatever to get Buffy into the initiative. They could have just used Riley as bait, to be honest.
Yeah.
Riley could have...
the disc plot doesn't make much sense, does it?
No. And they didn't really need the discs. And the discs in the end gave away the entirety of their plan. And they're like, oh, but they want you in there. So he wanted Buffy in there.
Yes.
But he didn't want Buffy going after him. But the discs in the end showed her where he actually was.
How did that happen? Did Adam do that?
No, Willow just found them. Like, again, it is that thing.
She said, no, they were decrypting, and then they just decrypted themselves,
So
he
decrypted them for her because she was taking too long.
Right, but then he unintentionally gave away his location. Is that what happened?
Well, probably didn't realise that there were, like, when they were looking at the plans, they were looking for where he would be, and she was like, oh, there's all these electrical outlets going here, but there's no there.
Yeah. Seems like a massive oversight, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, again, Spike said, don't underestimate her, and then he proceeded to underestimate her. Like, Spike is warning him the whole time.
Yeah, I guess, but it still even seems like a bit of an oversight, though, doesn't it, to have cables running to a direction that's nowhere on the map. Like, wouldn't someone think, oh, that's a bit weird? I wonder if there's something there.
Well, maybe no one's looking at those schematics.
Maybe.
So, maybe, yeah, again, oversight. All right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I did say about the insults that generally hurt the most are the ones that validate your insecurities. And, yeah, and Spike knows how to pinpoint and find them. Like that's what he does. That's where he gets his jollies these days, now that he can't kill people. But also the fact that Spike's his little manipulations work. Part of the reason it works is because there's already underlying issues going on, and he's just throwing a little bit of fuel on the fire, so to speak. And it is that thing, Buffy is sometimes completely oblivious to a lot of stuff that's going on. And Spike doesn't try to isolate her from them. He targets her friends, never her. Because she hasn't even realised that.
Yeah, because she'll see right through it and know what he's doing.
Well, not necessarily. But yeah, he separates the friends from her, not her from her friends.
Yeah.
Because that just never seems to work. And the fact that she actually does draw a lot of her power from her friends. Like that's her connection to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they are so important. And as I said before, it does come full circle because Buffy without her friends isn't her best Slayer self. So when they do this enjoining spell and create, this super Buffy, it is bringing that full circle about how much Buffy really does need her friends.
Yeah, they're pretty important.
Yes.
Need your friends. So the first episode called the Yoko Ono effect?
Just the Yoko Factor.
Yoko Factor. So Yoko Ono. I just feel like that poor woman has copped a lot of unwanted abuse for being the one that broke up the Beatles.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now that it wasn't her.
Yeah, it still seems to be the running joke though, doesn't it?
But what? It's a misogynistic idea that a woman breaks up the biggest band in the world.
If it's misogynistic, most of the fans are women, to be honest.
Women can be just as big a misogynists as men.
Well, they don't want to blame them for being imperfect. It must be someone else who broke them up. There's no way they could do it. There has to be some sort of scapegoat for it all, and unfortunately, it's always been her. It seems like the band was falling apart for years, though, so before they even officially broke up. For a band that was only around for 10 years, surprisingly.
Yeah.
It went around for a long time, made like 12 albums, 11 years, or something like that. So I always felt like she always got the raw end of the stick on that one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. But even Spike points that out.
Yeah.
Spike's like, there was already issues in the group. Like, had nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
The band pulled itself apart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He also mentions Helter Skelter. That Adam likes Helter Skelter.
He probably would.
And
it was also the favourite song of Charles Manson.
Well, it was the fact that Charles Manson thought that it, interpreted that song as that there was going to be an interracial war between in the US.
Yeah, it's some pretty fucked up shit that he believed. You can go look it up yourself. I really don't feel like repeating it all. It's just such garbage. But he was trying to incite it as well. It was what he was actually trying to do, like stealing a wallet from a white person and putting it in a black area and beating a white person. He was actually trying to incite some sort of racial war. It's some pretty. I guess what happens when you're tripping out on LSD and God knows what. Mm-hmm. Come up with some pretty crazy ideas.
Yeah. And that colonel at the start of the episode, again, they're underestimating Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Oh, she's just a girl," which is all Buffy wanted to be, for the past 4 seasons.
If only. I wish that was true. I wish it was true.
She just wanted to be just a girl. And yeah, again. But she also, I don't know why he's like, oh, she's just a girl, when she had been quite clear that she's actually the Slayer, and had been working with the Initiative at one stage.
And they're well aware of her powers and abilities as well. They were
testing her powers at one stage.
Yeah. They're quite aware of her abilities, so I'm not sure why he's second-guessing it all of a sudden
and the fact that,
and playing it down.
And the fact that Walsh had tried to kill her and failed.
Yeah.
Again, underestimating her because she's just a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a girl. Yeah. So let's also talk about the battle scene in the Initiative.
Yes. Now, that was very reminiscent of another Joss Whedon project. I felt, I'm guessing you're leading into this.
Yes.
The cabin in the woods scene.
Yes.
Where it's just absolute carnage in there.
All the monsters attacking the soldiers. And it was the first thing you said. It was like, oh, God, this is very reminiscent of Cabin in the Woods.
Well, the whole initiative was, to be honest. Even when they died, I was like, this is very...
This season is about science versus magic versus science. And Cabin in the Woods is definitely science versus magic.
It's definitely an extension of what the Initiative probably would be, capturing these creatures in order to release them on unwitting, horny teenagers in a cabin in the woods. So obviously the cabin in the woods just goes to 11 on that factor, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is a primetime TV show, so they had to tone it down. And in Cabin in the Woods, they go balls to the wall in that scene, and that's just
literal balls to the wall. Like the balls are on one side of the wall.
I think there's a scene where you have that 2 seconds of silence
Before
just before the elevator
elevator.
doors
Yeah.
open, and it's just absolute carnage.
Yeah.
You hear ding. It's quite an amazing moment in film history. I recommend, if you have not seen Cabin in the Woods, it is a great film. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure any
Whedon fans
Whedon
probably have.
fans probably.
Or Chris Hemsworth fans as well. A young Chris Hemsworth was in that. I guess before he was Chris Hemsworth, he was just some guy then, I think.
But Cabin in the Woods sat on the shelf for a long, long time. They didn't really know what to do with it. And I think it was after Thor or one of those Marvel movies was released, they decided to release it. And I think it was maybe after Joss was announced to be the director of Avengers as well.
I think Chris Hemsworth was getting a little bit of screen time in films with Star Trek. He was in the start of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. On to my next bit. The chip in Riley's arm, or chest, or I don't know. That little twist.
It seemed a little shoehorned in, didn't it?
Yes, because I'm like, how does that happen? Like, how does he have some sort of surgery done on him without him realizing he's had surgery
Well,
done
also
on
it's never been used as well. It seems
Yeah.
like because he had no idea about it. So maybe it was a fail safe for them or something, but it seems like they could have used it because weren't they trying to get him back?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hang on. We've got this chip we can use.
Yeah, but it
Well-
seemed like no one knew about this chip except for Adam. Also, again, why didn't Adam have a fucking chip?
Yes. Yes, that would have been very handy.
He has a hard drive. I'm sure there's some chips in that they could have
Yeah.
used. I don't know. Yeah.
Stick one in that floppy drive.
I don't know, that having the chip in Riley all of a sudden seemed a bit shoehorned in.
Yeah.
No, had you seen this episode?
No, I haven't seen this episode. No.
And did you go down any rabbit holes? or-
No, not really. I'm just going to say one thing, though. I have mentioned this before, but just information you read on films and movies on IMDb can be just such nonsense sometimes. And this one really caught my eye, and it was a goof. Now, I rarely read the goofs, but I was looking for something to look at. And this was the one for the second episode. And I'm going to read out exactly what it says. It said, Sarah Michelle Gellar had obviously lost weight between the third and fourth seasons. Therefore, the difference between her and a stunt double is much more noticeable during the fight sequence with Adam. And I watched this. This person is completely and utterly full of shit. And this needs to be taken down. I don't know how people can write this absolute garbage on there sometimes. It's just nonsense. Like, okay, you can tell it's a stunt double, mainly because her face is usually covered and she's sort of doing these weird flicks and kicks and stuff like that, which obviously Sarah Michelle Gellar can't do. But the fact that there was a substantial weight difference between the two professionals, as I thought, was just really, really nasty. I don't know if she was just saying that she's fat or something, but I was just reading that going, God, how could that be a goof? How could you? And I couldn't even notice it. It wasn't as if they had two completely different body types or anything like that. It wasn't like this girl was like 6 feet tall and Sarah Michelle Gellar's 4 foot tall or something like that. That would be noticeable. But otherwise, it was I don't know. It kind of really pissed me off when I read that.
Yeah.
I want someone to take that down off IMDb. If anyone from IMDb is listening, and if anyone can tell me how you can get things taken off IMDb, because that is just like the most ridiculous thing I've ever written.
You wrote it. You saying you wrote that, Jarrod?
I've ever read, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. One of those things that puts a poor taste in your mouth. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why would you write that?
Yeah. Which I think like every time you like bring up, you go to bring up one of those IMDb ones and I'm like, oh God, don't. They're shit.
Well, some can be interesting, okay? Some can, but then you just get absolute garbage and some stuff that's just not even true and not even close. They just bullshit. I don't know. They want to write something on there.
Yeah.
I know. Some obsessive fans who have watched this way too many times. I don't know anyone like that.
Like there's been an obsessive fan and watching things way too much, and then there's like making up shit because they can notice the difference between the stunt double. Like, I'll tell you what, I never noticed it.
Weird. Anyway, yeah, so no rabbit holes tonight, unfortunately. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, do we want to get into question time?
Yeah, let's get into the questions.
Answer the question.
All right, question time, Eddie.
All right, Jarrod, which character was your favourite?
I liked Rupert. Drunk Rupert Giles.
No, I am no Alfred, so no, you forget. Alfred had a job.
Oh, bloody hell.
It's funny, I saw a clip on Reddit, and it was a part where Xana says, I'm going to go to Fort Dix. And then
Fort Dix.
And then Giles just cracks up laughing, saying that. Then, I kid you not, like the day before I saw that episode, I saw that clip. I'm like, oh, okay. That's where that's from.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Spike. Spike is in his element in these two episodes.
Now, I was going to say Spike, but I just hate saying the same people all again. Every time Spike's in the episode, he's a favourite. Otherwise, it's Buffy. But I did like Giles.
But this is Spike at his best. Like, this is him in his element. Like, this is the joy of watching Spike just find everyone's like little weaknesses and insecurities, and then he just pokes and prods them and sets the little spark. Adds a little fuel to adds a little spice to the mix.
Yeah.
Causing all the problems and causing as much damage as possible with just a couple of words.
Yeah.
All right. Which character do you love to hate?
I thought Angel was a bit of a dick in this episode.
Oh, I love Angel. I love Angel when he's being petty.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dick, I thought.
Oh, he was all right.
Yeah.
But like Riley was also being a dick. Like if someone just comes at you being a dick, you just start being a dick back, don't you?
I guess so. Dicks be dicks.
Well, Angel is a bit petty, but I always like when Angel's petty. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate Frankenforest. Somehow as I said, they make someone who's unlikable even more unlikable.
Frankenforest, huh?
Yeah, Frankenforest. I think he uses the lines to the line of he's gonna make sure that like they're keeping Riley there until they find some choice parts. I'm pretty sure I know what choice parts he's after.
Just a sweet trans robot. Okay.
LOL moments.
Well, I think Drunk Giles again was
I
a
have-
LOL moment.
Yeah, so I have Drunk Giles during the argument, but it's you never train with me anymore. He's going to kick your ass. And she's like, Giles. And he's like, sorry, was that a little bit honest? Terribly sorry. Yeah. Any particular Drunk Giles moment?
Whilst I did mention the Fort Dix.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't he throwing his clothes?
Yeah, he starts going upstairs. He just starts saying he's throwing his clothes down. Favorite fight scene?
The climactic one at the end, I suppose, is probably the best one. It was pretty crazy in there, wasn't it? Everyone's just going at it everywhere.
Yeah, probably Super Buffy and Adam final showdown, yeah. There's lots of fight scenes. Could also go the big argument. It was a pretty epic fight scene as well.
It's hard to go that when all that other shit's going on, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit hard when you also get the Super Buffy showdown with Adam and Super Slayer.
Yeah.
Favorite scene?
Which was also my favourite scene. I really did like that scene at the end with just all the chaos ensuing with all the different creatures and the soldiers fighting it out to the death was while they're all running in around it was almost like as explicit war scene as you could get for television back at that time. I think you really couldn't do too much blood and guts back then as you can do these days. It's quite difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I like I'll probably go my favourite scene's the argument scene and all the little gossipy bits that Spike has been laying starts coming out. Least favourite scene?
I thought the Buffy Angel scene, having their little moment together.
Okay. So that they've got their equal screen time on each other's shows.
Is that what it is? The quota? Yeah.
Yeah, they have to get their quota in.
He seemed so unnecessary in this. There was no reason for him to be here, was there?
They needed to get their quota in.
Yeah.
Crossover time.
So that's dumb. That's stupid. Because it adds nothing to the story and just, if he was going to be part of the battle, that'd have been cool.
Yeah. Well, they do that again later on anyway.
So, at least you're going to bring him over, make him do something.
Yeah. Should have been part of the battle, yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, it seemed like the thing where they just filmed it in a day. Like they just filmed him outside with Riley and then in Buffy's dorm and then he's gone. So they could have filmed that all in one day.
Yeah. My least favourite scene, probably the fight scene with Riley and Forrest and the reanimated Walsh and other doctor guy.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy. And she kind of spoke as well.
Yeah.
They said that she was meant to be more of a drone, but then she actually spoke, so it seemed like there actually was some sort of consciousness in there. Because they made out that she was just basically a machine, virtually, a drone.
Yeah.
But then when she sort of spoke and...
Be a good boy, Riley.
Yeah. So, that actually was a bit creepy, that. The fact that there's like maybe some part of her still conscious in there was like really creepy, I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. But other part that I didn't particularly like was probably the awkward Buffy Riley scene in the dorm room when she just doesn't want to talk to Riley about what happened with Angel, and he just sees it as her
betrayal.
That they'd slept together. Also not really understanding the curse with Angel is for her to sleep with Angel would be an like Angelus is an incredibly dangerous creature that she would never sleep with Angel ever again because of how dangerous Angelus is.
Did he meet Angelus?
No, he never has. He just knows that Angelus is a thing.
He knows
I don't think he realizes how bad Angelus is.
He knows Angel's a vampire, though,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
And
he's like, he's bad.
It seemed like he got more upset when he found out she slept with him than they were together, is what ticked him over, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's an ex-boyfriend. It shouldn't matter.
Well, you'd figure they probably already would have, but that did seem to be the part when Xander said that, because she slept with him that released Angelus. And that seemed to tick him off a little bit.
He also used some different language in that scene because he doesn't use the word happiness. He uses the word one moment of pure pleasure.
Yeah.
And pleasure and happiness are very different things.
But it almost seems like it's more the fact that he found out she slept with him that...
Yeah, they were in a relationship.
Yeah, but like for some reason, he probably had it in his head that they didn't sleep together is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, okay.
And the fact that when Xander said, she slept with him and that's what released Angelus, that's what the part that seemed to tick him off, if you notice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if he actually believed that, but finding that out, knowing that for a fact, did seem to set off some sort of jealousy in him.
Yeah, and then he kind of came at her with this sort of like it's not that Buffy doesn't love him enough. Like that's the way he just sort of acts like this petulant child in that even if she does love him, it's never enough. And he was just gradually getting jealous over something that happened years earlier with an ex-boyfriend. Like what happens with an ex has nothing to do with your current relationship.
Some guys are kind of like that. Like the idea of the girlfriend sleeping with someone, even though it was an ex. Like some guys, they can send them into a bit of a rage, and they can hang on to that, even though it's with someone they were with. But they'll hang on to that. I've known people to be like that. I'm guessing that's what they're sort of doing with Riley a little bit.
Yeah, it's also a very toxic trait to have. Like,
I didn't say it was a good thing.
Like, but what happens in previous relationships, whether someone's been in 100 previous relationships, it really isn't any of the new
No, it's not.
person's
Oh, it's not.
business.
I know. It's not their business, and they have no right to feel that way. But some people do, and I'm thinking that's what they're doing with Riley. Because I'm just thinking about it now. It's when he found out that she slept with him is what seemed to tick him off. It's the point I'm sort of trying to make, and
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what they were playing with, and that's what the type of guy Riley is.
Yeah. But it wasn't
And
like
that's why you don't like him.
it wasn't like she was it wasn't like she was a virgin or anything. Like he
Yeah, I
already-
know. Look, I'm not asking you to make sense of this because it doesn't. It's stupid. It's immature.
Yeah. Okay.
It's possessive.
Yes.
So, and these are maybe the traits, and these are maybe the things that maybe you didn't notice, but your brain did,
Yeah.
that makes you not like Riley.
Yeah.
Maybe this is we're coming back to that part again. So, I just sort of had an epiphany about that
Yeah.
as we we're talking about it then.
Yes. Maybe it is. You know what? I think you could be right on that. On why. I know that I feel like there's a lot of reasons why people don't like Riley.
Yeah.
So, and that's just one of them.
Fucking white bread. All right. What do we got
All
next?
right. Favorite quote.
So we had Spike. Spike's favorite quote. You know, for someone who's got Watcher on his resume, you might want to cast an eye to the front door every now and again. There you go.
Mine is also a Spike one. It's Spike. Wow. I mean, yeah. I get why the demons fall in line with you. You're like Tony Robbins. If he was a big, scary Frankenstein looking, you're exactly like Tony Robbins. And for those out there who don't know who Tony Robbins is, do you know who Tony Robbins is?
Yeah, he pays people. People pay him to tell them that they can do it.
That they can do it.
You can do it.
He's a motivational speaker.
People pay him so he can say to them, "You can do it."
Yeah. So he's a motivational speaker who kind of looks like Frankenstein. Yeah, he's kind of this big
Dr. Frankenstein.
No, like Frankenstein's monster. Like he's just kind of a big.
He kind of was in the
tall-
zeitgeist probably about 20 years ago. I remember he was in the Shallow Hal film, he was doing a lot of infomercials and stuff like that.
Yeah, lots of self-help
Yeah.
seminars.
He's kind of one of those motivational speakers with the earpiece and, fist in the air and making everyone clap and stuff. And he's in his 60s now, but I think he's still going. I think he's still got his brand and everything like that and releasing. I don't know if it's the infomercial stuff he's selling much
I
these
haven't
days,
seen
but I think
much of
that
it.
sort of
I think-
industry's moved
yeah.
more online and doing God knows what. I don't know, guest speakers and stuff like that. I'd say he still have a pretty big following, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Almost borderlining on some sort of evangelist sort of without the religious stuff though.
Yeah.
You can do it, but
Yeah, but there's those people who just swear by Tony Robbins. You got to listen to all the books.
he's been doing it for a long time, so
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still
Probably
doing
the
it.
original,
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
one of the original motivational speakers.
Yeah. It's basically a religious speaker without the religious part of it. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically what he is. One of those preachers.
Yeah, be your best self.
Yeah.
Yeah. My other favourite line from Spike is, "So it's chips all around. Someone bought the party pack."
Did they?
Party pack of chips. Get it? Get it? Get it?
No.
The party pack.
No, I don't get it.
Well, you buy the bag of chips and it's got all the little party packets in it.
Oh, yes. Oh, right. Except he would have called them crisps.
Don't they call them chips in America though?
He's not American. All right, next
All right,
bit.
who gets the wooden spoon?
I was going to say something, but I'm going to change it to Forest.
Frankenforest. Yeah.
Forest Gates. Frankenforest. The sweet robotic, trans-robotic guy.
Yeah.
He's going to harvest all the parts.
Choice parts.
Choice parts. So we're done with him now.
Oh, God, yes. Thank God, yes.
Now,
yes.
it's funny when you first asked me about that character and you said, what do you think about this guy? And I fully thought that there was going to be some sort of plot where he confesses his love to Riley or some side plot or something like that. And it never came up. And I'm so surprised when you told me that, no, the character's not actually gay. I don't know why I thought that, though. Maybe you told me this years ago or something like that. Maybe you implanted that idea on my head. But from what I've seen of this character, they really did play it that way. I don't know if it was intentional or not. It must have been.
I don't think it was. It just came across. I have a feeling that actor is actually gay. Right. Okay. Which might have just been your gaydar going off a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. There was something pouty about it, was it? The way he was frustrated with Riley. He was very, very pouty and very childlike, like stomping his feet on the floor. But to see a grown man do that comes off as a little gay, doesn't it? I think, is that what it is?
Yeah. It is that thing when your friend gets into a new relationship and they're spending all their time with a new girlfriend or boyfriend. You might get a little bit, hey, can we spend some time together? Or start getting a bit, hey, you're ignoring all your friends type situation. And those friends can get upset by it. But he kind of took it to... Yeah. They were in a, he kind of did take it to a different
angry.
level.
He wasn't angry. He was jealous. That's the part that I think that transgresses as to why this character maybe might have been more a little infatuated with him than what you think.
It's because all of his actions come across as jealousy.
Yeah.
And he never even tries to get to know Buffy.
No. Because he just knew he couldn't compete.
But yeah, he doesn't try to get to know Buffy at all.
No,
like he just
day dot, yeah.
He just flat out hates her. Hates her. Only ever gives her lip, pretty much. Just comes across as very, as you said, jealous.
Pouty.
Yeah, jealous and pouty. I give it to Colonel McNamara.
Okay. Mac the knife.
Yeah, because he let the initiative become a Trojan horse.
Even when he was told it was a Trojan horse, he still didn't think, no, that can't happen.
And also, I don't know. Also, Spike and Adam not seeing the flaw in their plan.
Not a great plan.
Of trying to split up. Like, their plan wasn't very good. Wasn't a good plan.
No.
And revolving around decrypted files.
Yeah, I think there might have been something, other plot device or something they were going to do, but they quickly changed it last minute or something.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of that in this, and that, well, especially when it came to Adam, like there was a lot of scenes of Adam just, pontificating. Yeah. And saying all of the plan, like talking to Riley, but Riley couldn't actually speak back. But yeah, sort of saying this was Mother's plan from the beginning.
In case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know, we're going to create an entire army of...
well, as you said, she was meant to be the big bad of the season, wasn't she? So that's possibly that's probably what's the missing element there of what that was all about.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is the MVP of the episode?
That's Buffy, isn't it? Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I would go with all 4 Scoobies when they get together and they bring their powers of mind, heart, and spirit and the Slayer lineage together and create Captain Planet. I mean, Super Buffy.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
They need wind, don't they?
Wind, water, heart. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that works as well.
Yeah. Their powers combined. And what do you rate this season final, not final episode out of 10 using something from the show?
Well, I went 6 encrypted floppy disks.
Okay. I went 9 out of 10 Trojan horses.
Trojan horses.
Yes.
They're still a thing these days, aren't they?
Yes.
Thousands of years later, we're still getting hit with Trojan horses. Who would have thought, huh?
Oh, it's a good plan. Trojan horse was a really good
great plan.
That was actually a really good plan.
If it was real.
It was real. It's just a
And keep in mind, the Trojan horse wasn't done by the Trojans, it was done by the Greeks to trick the Trojans.
Yes.
To be clear.
yes.
So we've supposedly been to where the Trojan horse happened, but fuck knows if it's even true.
Yeah, and all the kids and all those kids thought
Okay,
you
yeah.
were a rock star.
Yes, I am. Oh dear. All right, Eddie. God, this has been a long episode. So, was there anything else you wanted to add? I'm ready to pull the pin on this.
No,
That'll be a wrap for today.
That'll
No,
be
it's been a
wrap.
long. It was a good season finale. Oh, it's not a season finale. Oh, we're gonna do this.
Still got to do the finale.
Still got to do the season finale. All right. All right. Let's wrap this up then. Well, I hope you've enjoyed listening to us tonight. We are Nerd Subculture. My name is Jarrod,
And I'm Edwina.
and you can find us.
On TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. There is a Facebook group, and you can email us at nerdsubculture@gmail.com. And if you want to help the podcast out, please follow the link tree on the socials for our merch store.
Yes, so please like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, shout us a comment, anything you want. We'll always respond. Take care. See ya. Bye.
Bye. Grr.
and loving it.